This is Salam Media, coming to you live from South Africa.
12:37 exactly, and my next guest is one brave young lady. She's the author of the book called Mercy, and she talks about her years and years and years of sexual and other abuses. She's decided in these 16 days of activism of no violence against women and children and men, of course, we know men are also abused, that voices needs to be heard. She has documented her real life story. It's an autobiography, I should imagine, and she's here to make the world aware of just what a sick world we live in. Thaakirah Mohamed, Assalamu alaikum, welcome to the program, and what a pleasure to have you here.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh wa maghfiratuh, my beautiful conscious diamond. Shukran so much for having me on your show. It's such a blessing.
I'm just so sorry you couldn't come in live to the studio because I so wanted to meet you. But nonetheless, inshallah, we will meet sometime soon.
Ameen.
You had, I just read the synopsis of the book. I didn't manage to get the book as yet. But that left me cold, or, the kind of the hair stood up on the nape of my neck. And the question I asked to you, Thaakirah, is you're probably in your late 20s now, am I right?
No, I'm in my early 30s.
Okay, early 30s.
Yes.
Was there nobody there to look out for you? Was nobody there that believed you? Was there nobody there that said to you, I hear you, and this must and will stop? And I'm talking about the sexual abuse and just the way you were taken advantage of. So that's the first question. And then it must have taken a lot of guts and courage to write the book. Because from what I have gathered, you haven't named your perpetrators. But by them knowing you've written a book, they must be squirming, absolutely squirming where they are. And that's punishment enough, is it not?
So let me start. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I ask the Almighty to be divinely protected, heart, mind, body, soul, and spirit during this conversation, inshallah. So, Julie, to answer your first question, yes, my name is Thaakirah Mohamed. I am originally from Lenasia. My birth town is in Lenasia. And then my hometown is George, and I'm currently in Cape Town at the moment. And you are correct, I've written a book called Mercy. So Mercy is about so many things, right? It's not only about abuse, but it's not an autobiography either. It's stories that happened in my actual life with lessons behind them, right? And, I take you through this journey of, first narcissism, dogma, separation of, my parents, and how that affected me and how it made me susceptible to, just being a broken individual and a broken child. And to answer your first question, I wouldn't say that nobody was there or nobody believed me, because ideally the Almighty is always there, and I understood that from as young as I could possibly remember. And I was always a brave girl. I was always very strong. And I always never liked showing someone else that I was in pain. I would always be the comforter. So because of what happened, during my childhood, I think that everybody in the situation done the best they could with the knowledge that they had. I suppose, with the knowledge that we all have now, things could be done a lot better. And that's why I write the book. I don't write the book as, to say, my parents were like this, or my family was like this, or my friends were like this. It's not about that. It's about what did I learn from that situation? How did it guide me? And how can I move forward? And how can I help others move forward? Whether it be bullying or suicide or, a deathly illness or rape. Because my stories cover, everything from stigmas of the culture that I'm from, to taboos, to, stuff as deep as the taboo of witchcraft. that I touch on in my book, as well as going not against the teachers of faith, but making people understand that, there are people in our communities that are held as our leaders that are violating the terms and conditions of the contract of their religions, and it's not all of them. And in the book also, I've learned not to generalize. It's very specific.
So how much of your story, what percentage of your story, your experience is contained in the book? And I think, your book has been very well timed in keeping with the 16 days of activism. And I just hope and pray that everybody goes out and buys the book, because as you say, after each chapter or each experience, there's a lesson. You talk about the lesson learned and how one can, and if you reflect deeply enough, how you can grow, what you take away in terms of positivity from that lesson.
Absolutely. And it's also bringing you back to source, right? It's bringing you back to who you truly should be accountable to, and that's the Almighty. That's what my book is about. And your second question, you asked me, I haven't named my perpetrators in my book. I have, and I haven't. Yes, I have, and I haven't.
Yeah, I do apologize. This is not your normal book review. This is just
this is nobody. Go with the flow. Yes, it's all good. No,
this is a presenter interviewing an amazing woman, a woman that's been through the mill, and she still survived it. And she tells a story, and she shares other stories as well. And we, as citizens of the world, need to take lessons from your experience and all the experiences that are contained in your book.
Oh, absolutely. And from everyone else's stories as well, right? Because Julie, since the sacredness of this book, a lot of people think it's just a book and there are many authors, but I put so much intention into my book. My body literally broke. I ended up in hospital after every single chapter of my book, because my body broke to the level that it needed to break to that capacity to rebuild itself. And I wrote this book in 7 days. It's about a 2-page book. I wrote it in 7 days. But I think I went into my ultimate truth. And that's what I want to share with people, that no matter how hard it is, if you speak your ultimate truth, things fall into place and things aren't so heavy, and life just becomes so much more bearable. So yeah, it was a really, really hectic process. I also had to release a lot of things. I sat when my books came and I cried, and I thought to myself, oh my gosh, my story is going to be in everyone's homes. Am I ready for this? It's a very big commitment. And I thought to myself that if I don't do it, because I don't only break, like I said, I don't only talk about religion, I talk about culture, I talk about taboos, I talk about, things that, are happening right in our communities, in our homes, in our families. And I just realized that I have to stand not only for men and women, but for children and grandparents and for everyone else that needs mercy in their life. So that's my message.
What inspired you to write the book? You do say that you wrote the book in 7 days. There must have been a specific event. There's always you come to a crossroads, or there's that moment, there's that word, there's that encounter, there's that something that happens at a specific time or place in your life, where you just decide that this is it, this is what I need to do. I need to go out and I need to do this, not only for me, but for the people around me, to understand and appreciate what they have and where I'm coming from. And perhaps if ever anyone else finds themselves in a similar position or situation, hopefully they'll know how to handle the situation.
Absolutely. The turning point for me in my life, I got married and divorced last year, and I lost my twins.
Oh,
that was the turning point in my life.
How old were they? Were they still
they were
carrying them?
I was still carrying it.
Okay.
So I I was in so much trauma because I'd lost him a month after I was divorced. And it was a lot to take in. It was a lot to handle because I had illnesses before then. I didn't even know there was no possibility that I could carry. So I just went into the hospital feeling sick, not knowing I was pregnant, and then, having like your kids. Like that was the turning point in my life. And I just went into a very, very isolated space because I needed to cage myself to find out who Thaakirah really is. Who is she to herself? Who is she to other? What does she mean to the community? Because there were many a times, I attempted suicide 7 times in my life.
No.
And it's because, and I'm not afraid of it because it no longer silences me. It no longer stifles me. Because I've liberated myself from it, and that's why I can talk about it. But it came to such a low point that I lost everything that I wanted to take myself as well. And in that moment, I named my daughter Iman, which means faith. And the name just resonated with me, and I just decided I need to come back. I need to come back because there's a reason why I didn't die. There's a reason why, and I need to push through and give myself a chance to find out why.
Okay.
And this is the reason.
I'm talking to, is it Thaakirah or Thaakirah?
Thaakirah.
Thaakirah.
Yes.
With a Z or TH?
TH.
Okay. I'm talking to you today as an author of an amazing book, even though I've not read it. Just from the little what you tell me about the book, I'm going to get my hands on. And
I'm going to bring you a copy, Julie.
Inshallah. And really, I know that it's going to shift my thinking as well. I know there's certain books that shifts you, and I know that this is going to be one of those books. But be that as it may, who is Thaakirah Mohamed? What do you do in real life? And what do you believe your life's going to be like after the book?
So it's beautiful that you would ask me that. And it's also beautiful that Salam Media would be the first form of contact I have. I'm currently in Johannesburg at the moment.
Right.
I just landed this morning.
Right.
But you asked me what I'm doing right now. I am an emotional and integral life coach.
Wow.
I do a lot of community outreach in the Cape Town area. But that is who Thaakirah is. Who Thaakirah also is the author. It's the spoken word artist. It's I co-created a storyline and concept of a conscious album, by the artist Kingslave Bardis, bringing consciousness to Cape Town. We're trying to change the mindsets of the youth. So that is what we're doing currently, and that is what I'm invested in at the moment. And it's so powerful that I would have this conversation with you today because I'm coming back to my birth town for the first time as a liberated woman. I'm actually doing a book signing in my birth town.
That's
on
Lenasia.
Saturday.
That's Lenasia.
In Lenasia, yes, correct.
Right,
I'm going to be in Lenasia. So I'm coming to
Where
actually
in
do
Lenasia, let's tell the people that they need to come out in their droves to support you.
Absolutely. Bring anyone who's been abused. And if you haven't been abused and you guys, I'm doing something called Donate a Book. If you know of someone that needs a book, in the Lenasia area, come and donate a book. And I will make sure that I hand it out to the libraries there and the shelters. But for where it's going to be at 121 Nightingale Avenue, Extension 1, Lenasia. And it's going to start at about 10 a.m. Till about 2 o'clock. Come as you are. I just want you to be authentically you. And then if anyone wants details, they can contact. Can I give the contact details?
Of course, please go ahead.
Okay. If there's anyone that wants details on the venue and times again, they can contact Fatima Munshi, and her number is 081 509 7321, or they can follow my page, She Survives, on Facebook for updates. I'll just give the number again. It's 081 509 7321.
Okay, you've been through the mill in life. You've really and truly been through the mill. what is the one, and you've attempted suicide, and I hope I don't have this wrong, but I also think I read that you were kidnapped and sex trafficked. Am I talking about the same person?
No,
No, then I must have been reading another synopsis. Forgive me.
no, it's okay.
But you've really been through them all. How and writing the book must have been a very cathartic experience for you. How much has it changed you and your worldview?
Man, it's given me, so the first thing about writing this book was I realized that change can only come from within, and I started the active change on myself, and I try to be a lot more kinder to myself. So it's changed me in so many ways, because the more I become kinder to myself and my authenticity and my truth, the more I could be kinder to other people. And, it's just made the world such an inviting place for me, Julie, where I don't fear anything really or anyone but my creator. I come in peace. I come in, love, unconditional concern and understanding, because I try to understand that even though I was abused, I don't only fight for the abused victims. I fight for the rapist as well. I fight for the abuser as well, because I believe at one point we all came into the world and we were all born into a state of purity. The system that we were born into tainted us. The system that we were born into, enslaved our minds and trapped us. And that's what caused us to do such things. And I don't condone abuse, because I wouldn't want this to happen to me or anybody again. But all I'm saying is the book Mercy is also about the understanding and the mercy in the understanding. And that's the most important thing to me. I'm living my life in mercy, and that's all I'm trying to be to everything and anyone in the best way that I know how.
All right, you're busy promoting your book. You're probably going to go around the country promoting the book, inshallah. Once this is all done, how's your life going to be different or change? Or what's the next chapter in your life, in your real life?
Next chapter is I'm already busy with my second book.
Mashallah. And what is that?
I know, so that's a secret, and I'm not going to give out too much information on that one.
Okay.
But I'm busy with quite a few projects, alhamdulillah. So where to next with Thaakirah? I go with the flow of life. I don't preset plans. I'm literally going with the flow of what the Almighty wants from me and shifting that direction. And I find that just works best with Thaakirah. So where I'm going to be next, I don't know myself, my sister. But wherever I am, I ask that I'm, just divinely protected always.
Look, it takes an exceptionally strong person or a strong woman to talk the way you talk and to have gone on to write this book and to support other broken people. Who and what is it that keeps you grounded? You said you were born in Lenasia, and then you spoke about George being your base or your next home base, but you're now currently living in Cape Town. So there must be a group of people or a few very special people that ground you, gives you grounding and purpose, because it's really people that give us meaning in our lives. We live,
absolutely.
We've got to love ourselves first, but we live for the loved ones in our lives. Maybe our parents, our partners, our children, our sisters, whatever it might be. And also, where do you get all the inspiration from?
Okay, so what keeps me grounded is my relationship with the Almighty keeps me grounded. I also do a lot of, I try to live a very balanced life, spend a lot of time in nature, spend a lot of time in the outdoors. I also, try and be very conscious of what I put into my body as of late. So just trying to maintain that as well. Also, the people that I have are really, really, I don't have a lot of people in my life, but the people that I do have, my core support structure, they're really, really solid, and they understand my mission and my why. And that really gives me the motivation. And then, not to sound egotistical, but a lot of people in the situation don't thank themselves. And I really want to thank myself today because, it takes a lot of courage to get up in the morning after depression or after suicide or suicide attempt and to face the world. So I really just want to take the opportunity to thank the Creator for the vessel that is me and for, the courage and bravery to wake up and to be able to vocalize this. And your other question was what gives me inspiration? Everything gives me inspiration. I'm a very avid reader. I'm very observant. And I'm a very witty, analytical thinker as well. So,
Right.
so I can literally just piece together like an entire story just by looking at
Wow.
things.
Wow.
So,
You sound like my person. It's such a pity that you live so far away.
oh no, I'm
We
going to
would
be
have
here for a week. I'm going to be here
okay.
for a week. So maybe I can see you, inshallah.
Inshallah. We'll try and see if we can do something.
Yes, that'll be
All
great.
right. We're going to have to wrap up now. Closing thoughts. I know you're working on your second book. What else have you planned for your future? And I mean, we all plan. We know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the master planner. We plan, but He is the master planner. But what
Absolutely.
else do you foresee for yourself?
So what Thaakirah wants to do, so my brand name on Facebook is, my page name is She Survives, but I'm known as the Conscious Revolutionist. So what is next for me is, obviously I'm in Cape Town, so to bring consciousness back to the city, by getting these abused people in the community out of the mental enslavement and entrapment of their minds, by doing avant-garde things in the community. I have a very vast background in a quite a few things, so it's given me a lot of scope to do a few things, and I've got an incredible team as well of people. So I think that's the next thing for me, is just to maintain who Thaakirah is and just to be the voice of the voiceless, and to be the one that speaks for those that don't have the opportunity to do so. I want everyone that is listening to know that, I've taken the pledge, and I'm taking the pledge on Salam Media as well, to do that, to be the voice for whoever needs me to be their voice as well. And I will do it with modesty, with tact, and with my faith, and with afia.
Inshallah, Ameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all of your du'as. Lots of success on the book signing and book promotion on Saturday. Did you say it was 121 Nightingale Avenue?
That's correct. Extension 1, Lenasia, from 10 to 2.
Is it from a store or a private residence?
No. So the sacredness of my book, I didn't want it at community halls because of the stories that people come with. So we're having it at someone's home. There's a beautiful veranda. That's why I said, come as you are. I don't want you to be, I don't want you to feel any type of way but home. And that's why I'm choosing to do it like that. And I'm going to do it like that in every place that I go to as well, just for the sacredness of wanting people to feel a sense of home, a sense of, everything can be okay from here.
Well, I commend your hostess as well for opening up her home. Must be someone
Absolutely.
very special and dear to you.
Yes, I just want to thank them as well. It's actually my friend Fatima Munshi that's just doing the most for me on the side, and her parents, and brother Zakir Dawood as well. Just, you've just been so incredible. So just to everybody who's been a part of this revolution, shukran, and to my Creator, and to you, Jazakallah khair for this opportunity.
My pleasure entirely, and really to your friend, the Munshi family. Obviously, it's 121 Nightingale Avenue in Lenasia. Be there on Saturday from 10 to 2 o'clock and just mingle with like-minded people, support an amazing cause by buying a couple of the books, give some out for charity, or just buy one and just go home and read it. And you possibly would change your worldview, I should imagine. Thaakirah, wonderful talking to you. Time for me to wrap up. Hope and pray, inshallah, it goes well for you. It will go well for you.
Ameen.
And that you and I meet sometime soon. Remember me in your du'as as well.
And you too, my queen.
Ameen.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
That was Thaakirah Mohamed talking about her book called Mercy, One After One. Exactly time for me to wrap up. Thank you indeed for being with me on the show today. Loved every interview. Hope you enjoyed it as well. Till next week at the same time. As always, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and Khuda Hafiz from me, Julie Alli.
Listen to something fresh. Listen